Oh God, it's a long way down.
Because I've got that one, haven't I?
Yeah, you got
Makes
this one.
me look about your height.
Way up in the air.
Yeah.
So welcome to this video. We thought we'd give you a bit of an update on how we're getting on with the new van. I sort of realised that it's been a little while since we actually talked about the van. We've been away in it.
It's March when we picked it up, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's nearly sort of mid-April, so I thought we'd deserve to do an update for you. So a few things we want to talk about. We want to talk about problems we've had, which are not huge.
No.
Things we like, and we'll show you around as well. I think that's probably the easiest. Now we've had time to settle in, as it were.
Start with the snags, the things
snags,
we had fixed. Sorry. Well, the first thing was that we noticed the magnetic catch on the bathroom door was missing. That's the little thing on the floor.
And you pull it. It holds it quite firmly. But,
yeah, because I think people have had trouble where they've pulled using
just
that.
like the temptation is to pull on the handle, isn't it?
I was doing that yesterday. You said no, use the door.
Just use the door and
because you could, pull that off or loosen it.
Just pull it like that.
It is quite a powerful magnet.
Yeah, it's quite a strong magnet, and most of the time you're going to have the door like that when you're on site.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, it probably, as you're driving along, you could probably leave it like that.
Yeah, you probably could.
So that's been fitted, and it was just something they'd forgotten to put on.
Yeah, basically.
So basically, yeah, so that's been done.
I mean, the other thing we had was the shower door not closing properly, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it didn't close flat. So
you could close it flat, but it wouldn't stay.
That's it. So they've adjusted the hinges on that.
Yep, so that should be okay. Then there was something with the lower blind trim. I mean, I don't really know what this was.
We were sitting here with Glyn, weren't we, enjoying a little chat, and Glyn was sitting about there, and he said, "That blind over there, that looks bowed."
Yes, I noticed.
Glyn, thanks for spotting that. Glyn's good at spotting things like that.
Yes.
So anyway, so they've replaced the lower bit of trim there, or I think they've adjusted it, I'm not quite sure, but it's definitely not bowed.
It's not
anymore.
bowed, it looks perfectly straight now.
That's right.
Yeah, we were given the wrong sink cover, and apparently this is quite a common thing, that you may be giving the Voyagers one, or people who buy a Voyager may be given a Kon-Tiki one, because obviously the sinks are slightly different size.
I think what we were given was the Caravan. That's what Paul at Todd said. You think they've been giving out the Caravan ones to the motorhomes, and probably the motorhome ones to the Caravans. So there's probably a load of Caravanners with sink covers inside the sink now. Can't get it out.
Meet up with a load of Swift Caravans, and we could exchange
do a sink cover swap, couldn't we?
Yeah, so it does appear to fit properly now. Yeah.
And in fact, it's the same sink cover we had on the previous van, isn't it?
It is.
Available at all good accessory shops.
That's right. Yeah, so the trim was faulty on the side cupboard. We didn't even know, did we?
Yeah, it's this trim up here. And I hadn't spotted it, but there was a little bit of a bobbling in the where it sort of meets the where there's a fold in it. There was a bit of sort of trim bubbling. Yeah.
Didn't Glyn didn't spot
Glyn
that.
didn't spot it.
I suppose he was sitting there, wasn't he?
Facing the wrong direction, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and then the problem you had was you couldn't switch the aerial booster off.
Oh yeah, yeah. I fixed that myself. Where they'd fitted the aerial booster, there wasn't enough room for to get into switch it off. So I just moved it down an inch.
Yeah, and then the first sort of problem, we took it back. So the next day was this problem with this blind at the front.
Yeah. There's a bit of a string on this blind, and it's meant to be attached at the top, and that was coming off. It has been refixed, and it's been okay. Honestly, I think the previous blinds were better, but they rattled more.
Yes, yeah, these are quite quiet, aren't they?
They're quite quiet when you're driving, so I think these blinds are slightly quieter, but I don't think they're as well made as, if I can put it that way.
No, I mean, we don't use these on site, do we? Because we put the tailor-made on, so it's just when we're parked up somewhere.
Yeah. But anyone who's got these sort of blinds will know the problems.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's something I don't think Swift could do anything about, because what they've tried to do is to get round the rear screen.
Yes. And
Yeah.
to be fair, when we borrowed the last Bailey,
It had the same.
they had well, they didn't have this concertina one. They just had something that looked like a projector screen,
And that was even worse.
and that had a great big gap, didn't it? At
Yeah,
the top?
huge gap. I mean, there is a bit of light coming in there, but it's not massive. And like I say, it doesn't bother us because we use a tailor-made screen.
Yeah, so that's why it went back to Todd's for a couple of days.
A couple of days. They had it a couple of days. I dropped it off on Saturday, and there wasn't anyone in on Saturday, and they did the work over Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah. So now we're moving on to what upgrades.
Upgrades, yeah.
We
Yeah.
done or
Okay.
want to do or whatever.
Yeah.
So
What's my first one then?
we've had 2 TV brackets fitted.
Oh yeah,
we?
so we've had the TV brackets fitted. I will show you those. Yeah, so we've got the TV up here. I'll just show you. There's a bit of wood. I don't know if you can see it there. A bit of wood there, and this TV here is pretty solid. It's not going anywhere. And that's actually quite a good viewing position there. Yeah. So it's got the sound bar on it, but we couldn't fit that TV in the bedroom. We've got the little Avtex in there. That's the older Avtex, and it fits quite neatly in here. And actually, that's on its travel position as well.
Mm.
So we can use it just like that. We don't need to move it or bring it out or anything. They're just perfect. You can put the remote controls down there.
Or in that cupboard there, which is really useful.
Yeah, this cupboard here was really useful.
That's where they all are, aren't they? And
Yeah.
leads, because you can charge your phone.
Yeah, I've
And
got my little thermostat thing. You've got charging leads and all sorts of goodies in there.
what you wanted to do, but you can't do, is you wanted to wire the radio into the leisure battery, didn't you? Because the radio on here goes off after 20 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, it's
So-
a real pain. If you wanted to listen to some music in the van, every 20 minutes it switches off. Now, I did ask Tony at Todd's if they could fit a switch to it, but unfortunately this thing is so integral to the motorhome now. All the motorhome are...
Feels like it's the boss, doesn't
Well,
it?
that's right. It's got all the
Yeah.
it's got all the vehicle settings in there. It's got, you know, it's linked into the air conditioning. It's linked into the sat nav. It's linked into the van. You can adjust the van's setting or the vehicle's setting. So I think actually it would be a real problem to actually change it in any way. And because it's
Yeah.
controlled via the computer CAN bus,
Yeah,
it's a bit
no,
of a, yeah.
don't want to mess with that.
Yeah, go on then.
Well, another upgrade you want to do, can't do it yet because you haven't got any, is mud flaps.
Oh yeah, I do need to get over to Walton Summit Fiat Professional and get some mud flaps ordered. I don't know if I can do it online. I don't know whether I can or not.
No.
But I want to get the proper Fiat ones and get those sorted. I did wonder whether to get some fog lights as well, but I think they probably have to be computer controlled by this thing. Probably,
Yeah. Well, then the other thing we thought about was air conditioning, but we're still not convinced, are we?
No, I mean, I think last year there was a couple of days really where we were glad that we had that EcoFlow, I get this wrong, Wave.
Wave, yeah.
Yeah, the portable air conditioning, just with the pipe going out the window. That was when we were on the Isle of Wight, I think, mainly.
Yeah, because it was very hot there. Yeah.
What we're not so keen on is losing the extractor fan.
Mm.
The extractor fan is in the washroom, and because it's in the washroom, that's the only place it can be fitted. It can't be fitted to the little skylight in the lounge,
No.
because that slopes,
Yeah.
and it's got to be in a sort of a flat roof, isn't it? So I don't know. What, anyone else who's got a 785 or similar, where did you fit your air conditioning, and was it a good thing? So let us know in the comments.
Because the other thing about that Wave too was we could take that out into the awning.
Yeah,
So if it ever gets warm enough or dry enough to take the awning,
yeah.
we were glad of it out there as well,
that's
weren't
right,
we?
That's right.
Yeah. Then the other thing is you have to explain all this. Your DC
DC-DC.
DC,
DC-DC, not AC-DC.
You converter and power queen battery.
Okay. I had a lithium battery fitted in the previous motorhome. I've taken that lithium battery out to reuse in here, but because we've got a smart alternator on this van, really need to get a DC-DC converter fitted so the battery fuse doesn't get blown by the smart alternator, which can't be that smart really, can it, if it blows the fuse. But
No.
I'm waiting for Sargent to let me know if they've done a new wiring loom, because the difference with this van and the previous van is the battery's at the back of the van, and it's quite a long wiring run to get to the battery at the back.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It was just sort of down there on
Yeah,
the
so it
previous
was,
van.
yeah, I remember it down there.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so I will chase. I think that the guy I deal with has been on holiday, so I don't know if he's still on holiday, but
Right.
I might chase him up. How's the holiday going? If
Are you
you're
back
watching
yet?
this, are
Yeah.
you back yet?
Then we still haven't done anything about throws for the sofa, mainly because we need to measure it, and the van wasn't here to measure, so
So,
I haven't done any more on that.
so we'll get the tape measure out later.
Yeah, I mean, I think this one here we managed without it, didn't we? Really, because mainly Poppy was over there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a little bit about the layout really, because the table that we're filming from is over to one side. I don't think Poppy or indeed Tara, when she'll be in here, would use that sofa very much.
No, no.
So that sofa's not the problem. It's this little one over
This
here,
little
the smaller one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get that sorted. If anyone's got any throws rather than fitted seat covers, let us know.
Yeah, well, people have said, you know, the elasticated ones at the back, or
Yeah.
Velcro, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. So we're looking for something like that.
I'm not that. I mean, we had these in the other van, and I'm not sure they
You're
were.
not. No.
They were a bit slippy in there, so
Yeah.
I
The,
don't think
the
they're-
previous ones we had from Dunelm were
well,
better. weren't
That's
they?
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're still. That's work in progress,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you've put air suspension, and again, we're not sure it warrants the cost of that, are we?
No. The previous motorhome, Thor, was on a lighter chassis, and that did tend to crash and bang as we were going along. This does that much less, and it's a much smoother ride. So I'm not sure that air suspension would justify, or the benefit would justify the cost.
No. No.
So we're thinking about that. But if anyone's got a Kon-Tiki and they've had air suspension, is it a worthwhile investment?
Yeah.
Because it is quite an investment as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why you've got to make sure
think it
you
was something
really
like-
want it.
I think it was something. Hang on, I think it was something like 15 grand on to have it fitted with the van. You could have air suspension and self-leveling.
Yes.
But I think we drew the line at that. I mean, could almost bought another car for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So we're now going to talk about what we like and what we're not so happy with.
I'm going to start with the things that are not so good, if I can put it that way, and not the things that we hate. This is not a I hate this motorhome video.
No,
The things, obviously, with every motorhome that you find out when you start to use it. So, hit me.
Okay. Well, this hasn't bothered me at all, but it's bothered you and Glyn, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The driver's side back lounge cushion sinking into gap.
Yeah, there's the sofa. I can explain this. I probably will have to film this, but the cushions, the main cushion is sitting on the back of the folding chair. The other cushions are sitting on a bit of wood, and on that side there's a gap between the chair and the bit of wood. And when someone heavier sits on that, the cushion tends to sink into that. So if anyone's experienced that, let me know if you've got a solution. Maybe a bit of wood across there, a temporary bit of wood, would stop that happening.
Yeah, so it hasn't happened to me, but
No, but you're a bit lighter than me.
yeah.
The way of sorting it would be if this had a hard backing on it. It hasn't got a hard backing apart from there, which goes sort of there, if that makes sense. The other cushions have a hard backing.
Yeah, yeah, it must, yeah. don't know. But I think we'll demonstrate while we're away at Ashwell that how to do the travel seats and how to make up this bed at the front.
Okay.
Because that's always good for a laugh, isn't it, all that?
Yeah. Because we
Something
haven't
to look
used the
forward
travel
to.
seats yet. No.
No. So then the main thing that,
Yeah.
you know, we don't like so much is this auto locking.
Yeah.
And there's
yeah.
various solutions to stop it doing it, but we just sat down in here now, didn't we? And it's locked
Donk.
us in.
We're locked in. One, two, three.
Ah.
There you go. After about 35 seconds.
Didn't think it was going to do it.
I stopped counting. I mean, I can understand why they do it. If you've got a delivery van and you're delivering something, you don't want people nipping in and nicking stuff out of it. So it is a security feature. So understand why it's done. But I wish there was a way of switching it off. Now, someone did comment that Swift know there's a way of changing the wiring. I didn't get all the details, and I didn't get your name. They said that Swift know about it and they have a fix for it. So I might still try and follow that up, see if we can get anywhere with that. The simple solution, of course, is using the manual key. When you go out, if you use the manual key, it doesn't operate the central lock-in. So that doesn't lock the other doors, but if you're locking it anyway, it's locked, isn't it?
Well, that really mattered when you went with Alison, didn't you, on that muddy walk?
Yeah.
And I was going with Dave and Marion up to the Arboretum, taking Poppy. You went earlier, obviously, because you were walking, so you took the key.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, what do I do? So I used my manual key.
Yeah.
These were still locked by the central lock-in, weren't they?
Yeah, the front doors, yeah.
Yeah, so I locked that with a manual key.
Yeah.
And then when I came back with Poppy, I was back before you because you were walking. I thought, hope I can get in, but I could using the manual key. So, because it could be a problem if you've both gone off to the shower block or something, couldn't it?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
The other solution, and people have said this, is to open the side doors, so actually just physically open them.
Yeah.
And that convinces the system that that there is someone inside, I think, is that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't auto lock then. And also there is a button on the dashboard that you can lock and unlock. I think you have to have the ignition on for that.
Yeah, I've tried that before when you'd gone off and it locked everything.
But if you switch the ignition on and operate that button, it unlocks the central lock-in. So then you can go in and out as you want.
Yeah.
But the simple answer is take the key with you
Well,
wherever
yeah,
you
it's
go.
all right if you're off on your own, isn't it?
I know, because there's only one electric fob, isn't there?
Yeah,
Only
so
one
if
wireless
that
fob.
was centrally locked and I came back, could I open it with a manual key?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've tried that when it's been centrally locked, trying to open it and it seems quite stiff. I didn't want to sort of push my luck with it and open it. But what you would need really is the key to the driver's door.
Yes, yeah, and open that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
right.
it's a pain. It really is. So you know.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I think lots of people are going to have to live with it somehow
I know.
unless Swift suddenly announce that they've got a retrofit.
You get used to things, don't you?
Yeah,
You've got to be very careful whether you've got those keys with you.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we've already said this, haven't we, about the cab radio switches off after 20 minutes?
Yeah.
And there's no way around that. So.
I don't think we really use the cab radio enough to make that a big issue.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Right, so speakers in the bedroom are a bit feeble. I haven't heard them, so.
Well, then you can't hear them. That's the trouble.
Oh, right. Well, how do you know they're a bit feeble?
I had the radio on its central position, normally like you have in a car. And I thought, the speakers on the back are supposed to be on, so I turned it up a bit in here. I went in there, I could just about hear it. So I think it must be the length of the wiring back to the speakers there. And to be fair, I don't think the speakers are the very best either.
Well, so we never had speakers in the bedroom before, did we?
No. I mean, I preferred it when they were just up there.
Yeah.
Because they're in the lounge, which is where you want to hear the music.
Well, I suppose they can't do that because other variants of this would have a drop-down bed there.
Yeah, that's right.
So they've had to sort of do something like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So I mean, maybe I'll upgrade the speakers and get some better speakers. I know Dan Trudgeon.
he did, didn't he?
He
Yeah.
upgraded his. Is it his speakers? And
He has got a Bailey Caravan, hasn't
that's
he?
it. That's right.
Yeah, so that's that.
Yeah.
Fixed head unit, including vehicle settings, so difficult to change. What's
I'm
that
going to
mean?
read that myself.
Fitted head. Oh, you mean if you wanted to change this, you can't?
Well,
really,
yeah, I think
can
I've
you?
already said that, haven't
And
I?
it's the boss, and
Yeah,
you can't.
you can't do anything about it.
No.
Unless
Oh,
someone knows different. But it's, it's got the air conditioning and everything integrated into it.
Yeah, I
and
don't know.
No,
No.
so it would be
Leave that
Jenny says
alone.
no.
I mean, I've been using the auxiliary thing down there,
Yeah.
the USB down there,
Yeah.
with my phone going along again. Cause
Yeah.
I still have this problem. If I try to use my phone with that,
The Apple phone.
the
yeah.
Apple phone,
The
it
iPhone,
goes
yeah.
into Apple Music,
Yeah.
which I don't subscribe to,
No.
and I can't seem to get out of it. So we have no music at all because I've got no music in there. So
You've never subscribed to Apple Music, have you? So it seems to default to Apple Music.
I know, and I think that was the problem with that one we reviewed.
Yeah.
That we
that
couldn't
can't
get
be all
out
right.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's just plugging it in, and it's acting like a a lead into the
And
into
that
the
seems
unit,
to work
and it
like
works
it
fine.
worked before. so.
My Android works perfectly with it,
I know.
and I can listen to Planet Rock and
Yeah, I
all the sort
know.
of stations on
No,
Greatest Hits Radio.
maybe there's a setting somewhere, that it says all music, Apple Music, but I don't know. I can't get out
So
of
if
it.
anyone knows anything about how to switch Apple Music off as the default music player, please let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. So, right. All right. So next on to more real positive stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
What do we love about it?
Right. Okay.
So first one we've got, obviously, you're going to have to talk about this,
Yeah.
is the driving.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to do this as a separate video, but I tried out driving this with towing the car because I wanted to make sure that everything worked on the tow bar, electrics, and everything was okay. So I went out for a little drive with it. So I could put that video in here.
No, that's a separate one.
Okay. So yeah, so you probably will have seen that I did a separate video on driving the car, towing the car with this.
Yes.
And honestly, the automatic makes it so much easier. Particularly when you've got all these silly little roundabouts, it's a lot easier to steer because the power steering's lighter. It's speed sensitive, I think is the correct term. So at lower speeds, it's easier to manoeuvre. The automatic means that you don't have to think about what gear you need to be in and all of that. And
Yeah.
for someone who's driven a manual vehicle or most of their driving life, I think I only ever had one automatic previously, and that was that Ford Granada. Automatic, it's just such an improvement, really is, particularly with a bigger vehicle.
I mean, I enjoyed that journey we did from Shrewsbury down to Norton in Marsh.
Yeah.
It seemed so much smoother, and
Yeah.
like you say, there were a lot of roundabouts on that route, weren't there?
Yeah, that's right. And it is just, you feel like you should be doing it like, one finger, but it is.
It is that much easier.
It's finger light, yeah. And with having the automatic with the cruise control, of course, when you're on the motorway, if you're towing and you've got a heavier load on, going uphill and everything, the gearbox is changing down for you. So cruise control, automatic, good power steering. It's brilliant. It really is.
Yeah, and it seems that much quieter. I mean, we had a few rattles, didn't we? Because you hadn't you've put some stuff in the cupboards, haven't you? Anti-slip stuff now.
Yeah, I put some of I've got some anti-slip stuff from Todd's Accessories, and I've lined all the cupboards with anti-slip, so things shouldn't be sliding about.
Which is what the thing I could hear. I mean, I could hear plates jumping up and down. The cutlery drawer was. Yeah. Whereas before, I think that was all dimmed out by the noise of the engine or the noise of other things.
Well, that's the other thing. I think the engine and the actual driving, it's quieter. It's not it's not Rolls-Royce quiet, it's not
No, would it?
Mercedes quiet,
No, no.
you know, but it's so much better than the previous version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing I think we're finding is we're spending more time in the lounge.
Yeah, and a good reason for that is that the seats are more comfortable, I think.
Yes.
And possibly we'll probably spend more time in the lounge now we've got the TV up on its bracket.
Yes, because they put the TV back in when we had the Bolero and when we had that Bailey before that, the TV was always near the door.
Yeah, yeah. So it makes much more
It
sense.
just
to have
makes
it up
more
there.
sense to have it up there than
Yeah.
here, which
Yeah.
was
So motorhome manufacturers don't put the TV there. It's a ridiculous place.
So
to
it
put
used to put me off sitting on this
Well,
sofa.
the only way you could watch it was if you sat on the kitchen worktop.
Yes.
Anywhere else, it was just couldn't watch it.
No.
I think we only left it there really for sort of watching YouTube or whatever. But
Sometimes we had people around and we all wanted
Yeah.
to watch YouTube.
I know Rob and
Yeah.
Lynn moved their TV over to the other side.
That's right.
so,
Yeah. Yeah. So it's much better over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so we're spending more time in the lounge. We like the lounge. These seats are very, very comfortable, and that's for sitting in and
Yeah.
going along when you're driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said the garage is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I showed my sister the garage, and she just went, "Wow, the size of it's just it's really good." I mean, it's not the biggest garage I've ever seen. Let's put it that way.
Because otherwise beds would be.
Well, the beds would be up against the thing, so there is a compromise between how much headroom you've got in the bedroom, and the headroom in the bedroom is just about right, just enough to sit up, or get into the bed without knocking your cranium.
Yeah,
But
because it's got no cupboards above, is it? Like
No,
some
no.
have.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
You don't need any cupboards in the bedroom because you've got the garage. You've got these massive big lockers up here. The storage, we've still got loads of space in here.
Well, I think that's why things were moving around in the cupboards here.
Yeah,
And of course, we've got a much better payload,
Yeah,
haven't we? Because it's about 1,000, isn't it?
the payload is 1,000 kilograms. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a good idea to weigh everything at the back of the van.
No,
But
no.
we have got a much better payload, and I think that's why the ride is better as well.
And you can fit that little one of your folding bikes in the back.
Oh yeah,
can you?
yeah. I fitted the Engwe folding bike, which is not a small bike by any stretch of the imagination. I also fitted the Engwe commuter bike, the P275, in the garage, and they both fitted really well. So yeah, very pleased with the garage. I need to perhaps add some more tie downs for various things, but I've got most things strapped down with
Yes.
straps, and hopefully so it doesn't move. And the other thing is I've tried to put the things that I don't use all the time in plastic boxes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they were all over the place in
Yeah.
all different cupboards underneath the bed, weren't they?
Yeah. So a lot of the stuff that you use outside, so the like the electrics, I don't know, Poppy's tie down post, sort of the outdoor stuff is going to be obviously in the garage.
Because you've got 2 wet lockers now, haven't you?
Yeah,
Instead of just one.
Yeah, I'm not sure which ones to use. I've got, obviously there's the waste pipes and that, which I think I've got in one, and I've got like the fresh water stuff in the other. I think it's good to keep them separate, but I think I've got them on the wrong side.
All right.
But anyway, that thing that will sort itself out. But those little lockers are absolute bonus, really are. And look, the other thing I noticed, looking under the van, there's loads of space actually underneath the van as well. So if we ever to think about fitting external tanks or or any more storage underneath, there's space under there as well. It's just acres of space.
Yeah. When we took that EcoFlow Glacier away with us,
Yeah, the
didn't
fridge.
they?
Yeah, the portable fridge.
Which we were using for drinks.
Yeah.
Because don't want to risk those shelves in there.
No,
Particularly the ones in the door.
The shelves in the fridge are a bit vulnerable if you put too much weight in them. So if we were taking any wine with us, that was going in the EcoFlow Wave.
No, Glacier.
Glacier. I keep getting that wrong. EcoFlow Glacier fridge. So
Yeah.
it's really useful if we're going on a rally or something like that, I think.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The beds. they're very comfortable,
Hmm.
and we're still using the duvets, aren't we?
Yeah,
Which I found.
and David Dawn of Andromeda said that they'd done away with the Duvaliers, and they were,
Yeah, yeah, they
we,
seem
we,
to be all right
we
with them.
yeah, we seem to be happy with them. There is a little issue. I hadn't got this on my little notes here, but there is a little issue with the cupboard that's at the bottom of the bed. The two cupboards at the bottom of the bed. It takes up a little bit of space where your feet would normally go.
Yeah, this is yeah. You found this, haven't you?
Yeah, I've forgotten to mention this in things we're not so keen on sort of section, but what I have found though is that the bed is plenty long enough to sleep on, but naturally you slip down the bed, so sometimes I find myself like 6 inches further down the bed, and my
Yeah.
feet are up against that cupboard. But it, in the end, really, it's okay because there is a more of a space at the side of the cupboard, so it's not been a big problem. But
No.
it's something I never noticed when we looked at the van previously. And these things, that sort of thing, you only sort of find out when you're, actually using the van.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
where are we?
so the other thing about the bedroom is, I mean, I've been fine getting up the step, getting in,
Yeah,
because you've got that area in the middle that's soft, and I've just found that's not a problem.
yeah,
Sometimes when I get up at night,
Mm-hmm.
obviously you could come down, I find the gap between the bed and, no, it's the gap between the step and the next step into the washroom.
yeah.
I have to sort of think about that
Yeah, because
sometimes.
it is quite a tall step. It's strange, isn't it? We've looked at vans, we've moaned about the height of the step, but when you're looking at it, you think, well, actually, it is quite a high step.
Yeah, so it's all right getting, no problem getting in.
Yeah.
I just wonder if someone was a bit shorter than me,
Yeah,
whether they'd
Yeah.
struggle a bit. But no, I have to sort of think when I'm coming down to that one. But
yeah.
I'm used to it
But you're
now.
coping with it.
Yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think when we borrowed, the first time we ever tried one of these higher beds, if we could put it that way, was on that Malibu.
Yeah, I didn't like. Well, the fact with that was it had cupboards all along here,
Yeah.
and you were so high up that I felt like I was almost in the cupboard.
So a bit claustrophobic.
Claustrophobic. It made me
Yeah.
feel really strange, and somehow those beds seemed as if they were sort of like on their own. You sort of up there, and everything
Yeah.
else in the van was down here,
Yeah,
and I don't feel that with this.
No. I mean, we've taken some convincing about getting twin beds. We were, until a year or so ago, we were still looking at vans that had lower down beds, like with previous layout.
Yeah.
But less and less manufacturers are doing that, because obviously you've got the huge benefit that you get a garage.
That's right. And
Stick
you
your
don't
bed
get a
up
garage
in
with,
the air a bit, and you get a garage.
Yes, that's right. No, but I have got used to it. And once I'm in the bed, I'm quite comfortable. And no, it's just that getting down from the middle step down to that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I managed to do it.
Yeah.
How many days are we away? 10 days.
10, 12 days. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's great.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I like the wardrobes, because they're under the bed. Perhaps aren't as easy to use as the
No.
wardrobes we had before.
No, because they're lower down and you're crouching down and.
Yeah, but then if you're what I found is if you're in the washroom and you want to lean in the wardrobe to get something out, I'm sort of at the right height. You're probably still way too tall, but I find I'm at the right height to go in the cupboards, and we keep one for underwear, aren't we?
That's
The
right.
drawers. So no, I mean, don't struggle with anything really.
I would add with the actual wardrobe part of it, it's got a hanging rack underneath there. I don't think that's long enough. It's quite
Yeah.
short, isn't it? It doesn't go all the way back into the cupboard.
No, well, maybe there's a reason for that. They struggle to get to the back of the cupboard.
Well, only
I don't
that
know.
there's like a step up. There's obviously
Yeah.
some electrics or something in there. So whatever you put at the back there would have to be, t-shirt length or.
Yeah, because what I noticed that Swift don't do, which Bailey did do, was give you access to the wardrobe from the top. Don't think they do, because that was sort of like split, wasn't it?
That's right.
The mattress was split, and
Yeah.
you could lift just that bit up.
Yeah.
You can't do that with
No, the
this.
mattress is a one-piece thing on these, isn't
Yeah,
it? So
yeah.
which I think makes it more comfortable.
It probably does, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just on like a solid base, isn't it? The bed. So yeah.
But I think the washroom is the best washroom we've ever had. We haven't had a problem with the sliding doors at night because we've kept one locked, haven't we? The one in front of my bed, and it just means sliding that across. During the day, it means just shutting the door.
That's right.
No, it's the shower is fine. There's no.
We could go into detail here, but if one of us wants to go to the loo at night, we just slide one door across.
Yeah.
And we don't don't put the other door across. It's just enough privacy to do what you need to do.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, the previous van we had to just go in the bathroom and shut the door, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I mean, this is just slide a door instead of shut a door. If you see what I mean.
Yeah. On site, we take the catches off the top of the door, and
I
don't think we'd actually need to take the catch off the other door, really.
No, because you've got to remember to put that catch on as you're going, because otherwise you can get, the doors will be banging, won't but but no, so I don't think there's, I mean, the fridge is similar to what we had before,
much
isn't
the
it?
same, so it is the same fridge. So
there's a nice drawer down below which I'm using for a breakfast thing under the fridge.
Yeah, there's good storage under there.
That's right. I mean, some they have some with a Thetford. Sometimes you get a drawer, put wine in, don't you? A fridge drawer.
Yeah.
Drawers.
The drawers. The pulling out things.
The pulling out things. Nice cutlery drawer, all that sort of thing. They're nice. And finally, the table is very handy.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect in the position it's in at the moment, over to one side. It doesn't get in the way. You can get in and out of the cab. It's somewhere to put things. The problem with the previous van is there wasn't really anywhere to put things.
No.
When laptops and I don't know, food and.
Yeah, I mean, once you got the portable table out, you could hardly move, could you? Because it sort of took up the whole area.
No, you mean the freestanding table?
The freestanding table, and then the
circular
table round table
made a big improvement.
Yeah, because you could edit on it and whatever. But I must admit, I did find it a little bit awkward eating a meal. Yeah. Because it probably wasn't big enough, but I was sort of sitting at an angle sometimes, so it wasn't great. But this, we can move it around and.
Yeah. And of course, if we had friends around, we'd have to get the freestanding table out anyway.
No one can move, could they?
That was it. You couldn't move. With this, obviously, we can put it out, and it's quite wide, but you can move it about so people can get in and out.
Yeah. The only time you might struggle is if you sit here and you're trying to get out that way. But.
Yeah. The fixed leg part of it is actually probably going to show you on film, but it's actually down there, and if you're sitting here on that side, you can't get across that way, and you have to come out this way.
Yeah, but it's not. It had. We played Rummy Cub, didn't we, on it?
Yeah,
but it was fine.
Yeah, doing it one-handed. Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, because you can move it nearer to you over here, or...
Yeah.
No, it's very solid as well.
Yeah. You can, of course.
I think it's still a bit hard.
Still a bit stiff. But you can, of course, move it round as well. So there's a handle there. It's quite stiff, that handle, but you can move it across that way as well. So that works quite well. If it's just two of you dining, one can sit either end of that.
Well, we have actually just had it, how we had it just when we started filming.
Yeah.
And we've sat there and there, haven't we?
That's right. Like I say, the other thing, of course, is that leg. There's not a huge amount of room there.
No, you've got to come out round this way.
Yeah. You can have it that way round, which makes even more space in there.
Yeah.
We might be saying something different in a few years' time.
I hate this table, yeah. I mean, the only drawback is obviously you can't take it outside for obvious reasons.
No.
So you need another table
so
in
you
your
need to remember to
amazing garage.
well, that's it, isn't it? things that I would have thought, well, do I really need to take that? I've already got a table I can take outside. I'd probably end up taking even that bigger table that I bought that I never used.
Yeah, because we thought we'd got a. You mean the Outdoor Revolution
The
one?
Outdoor Revolution
Yeah,
table. It's quite a nice sized table, proper, dining table.
We thought we were getting something slightly smaller to
Yeah,
use, didn't we? Then when we put it up,
we
it
bought it.
wasn't.
Saw it at the show. Thought, oh, that looks nice, and we ordered it. We thought, we can't carry it round at the show, so Ailing brought it back for us, and
Yeah.
she kindly brought it back when she came back from the show.
Yeah.
We looked at it. Oh my goodness!
It's quite funny because it was not much better.
No.
Yeah, so I mean they can take that, can't we, with
Yeah,
us and
yeah.
have that outside if the weather
Ever improves. I mean, it's been really cold.
Yeah.
We're on, it's Thursday today, isn't it?
Yeah,
We're going away next week again, aren't we?
Yes.
On Thursday or Friday, we're not sure.
I'm not sure which yet.
Yeah, but we're going down to Ashwell. I keep thinking it was for Easter, but it's not Easter. We went to
No.
Ashwell for Easter last year,
No,
but we're going to
Easter's
meet up
gone.
with our friends again
Yeah,
and spend a little bit of time at Ashwell.
and then we're off to Posh Cat's rally, aren't we?
Yeah, and then Trevor
So
Sue's rally. Yeah.
That will be the first time this will be off grid, won't it?
I know, and that's why I'm hoping I could have got the lithium battery working by then, but
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll be fine.
Yeah, we're going to have to take EcoFlow.
Yeah, that's because again, that's you think, well, I can take the EcoFlow or I can take an EcoFlow and a battery, but
Yeah.
'cause I don't have to worry too much about payload.
No, that's right.
It would be interesting to get this weighed, when it's fully loaded up, see what actual weight it is. But yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, we mentioned EcoFlow a lot, but this isn't a
No, well, it isn't a paid promotion. It's just been
Things
very useful.
things we've had in the past that we've kept
Yeah.
and we're still using.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I hope you found this interesting. If you've got any questions, let us know, and I'll try and answer them to my best of my abilities. And if you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, and you'll get notifications when we update you with how we're getting on with this motorhome.
And our Scotland trip starts end of May, doesn't it?
Yeah. So
First of two.
So
yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that. We've got two Scotland trips. We've got a Denmark trip coming up. So if you haven't subscribed, you might miss all of that.
Yeah. That's
So
it.
we're looking forward to the summer. I hope you are too. So we'll see you soon.
Bye then.